Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's edition of the Damn Slap podcast. I'm your host, but you already know that, and I'm joined today by someone who has great experience in rugby, someone who has traveled plenty, and someone who is what I consider a world citizen.
Yes.
Thank you, Cedric van Leyenhorst, for coming with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Well, we'll see about that.
Will I? Are you going to ask some deep questions?
Yes, some deep existential
Let's go.
questions.
I'm ready.
Nonetheless, I will say, and I will start this off by asking, can you quantify the amount of teams you played in?
Played in, oh yeah, well.
In terms of rugby?
Yeah, well, I used to play rugby. It's been a lot of teams because I started playing, well, actually Nigeria first, but it wasn't the real rugby yet. It was like the tag rugby. So that wasn't really a team, but I guess that's one. And in the UK, that's when it really started. And there, that's when like my rugby career lifted. And I started playing a lot, and it was part of what I was doing. But I would say like around 10, 11 teams, something like that. I can't count. I can't remember
That's
all of them.
a lot.
I'm gonna have to like go through all of
teams.
them. I have to remember.
But I mean,
it's around that.
so you started off your experience with rugby kind of in Nigeria,
Yeah.
right? How was that?
As in what, the rugby experience?
The rugby experience in Nigeria. I
that's
never
the thing.
came
It
to
wasn't
think.
very like. It was just the group of expats that were living there. They were like from countries where rugby was like in their culture. So like from Australia, from New Zealand. So like
South Africa.
South Africa as well. Actually, yeah, we also had South Africans. So then they decided to like make a group, and we started playing rugby. Like, but it was touch rugby. It was tag rugby. So it wasn't like real.
But for safety reasons?
I don't know actually. Yeah, I guess. And we were young as well. So like there was no like real contact yet. And then because rugby was pretty big in the international community, then in Nigeria, they started to implement it in our school as well. But then it was like we'd go for tag rugby competitions, so not real rugby. But I mean, it was pretty fun. It like gave me the foundation of what rugby was. So then when I moved to the UK and got introduced to the real thing, it was already like, I knew how to pass the ball a bit and this. Yeah,
I mean, the principles of touch rugby are essentially the same. The passing of the ball, the rules, the general.
It's a very different game though, and it's actually like.
I mean, the physical contact is lacking. But what else is different about it?
Well, that's the thing with touch rugby. For example, you pass the ball, you have it, you get touched. The person has to go back 5 meters, so you have to be onside again, and then you keep on going. So it's a really fast game. So what the other team can do is, if they get touched, they put the ball down and they keep playing because the other people are still offside, But it's like that. And then real rugby is like, tackling,
intense.
what
it's
like.
Yeah. It's contrast focused.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, so you started playing rugby in Nigeria, which is one of the places I didn't expect being mentioned.
Actually, yeah,
but
I did not.
then you went to England, and there your rugby thing took off.
Yeah.
But where in England precisely?
It was in Wales. It was like, it was this school called Monmouth School for Boys. Actually, there was a girls' school up ahead.
Did they do rugby as well?
Ooh, actually,
I thought about that.
Like. That's the thing. There's like different sports, which were the main sports in the schools. I guess rugby was not for the girls' school now. They did more like lacrosse and everything, and rowing and hockey and all that,
But so for the boys, the rugby was like the real rugby.
Yeah, it was for boys. The sports would be like rugby, rowing, and football and cricket.
Rowing?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
No, there's a lot of rowers in the UK.
I mean, in Holland it makes sense.
No,
It makes sense. Canals everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, there's like rivers everywhere and stuff. They like rowing and all that. But rugby was my thing. I'm not gonna lie. Rowing was way too much. Because I tried it once. You had to do like for fitness exercises. You go on the rowing machine and I mean, I don't know what my stamina is like now, but
but in general, man, rowing is one of those sports that like you gotta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not really into the rowing. It was more rugby for me, for real.
But so you had the choice, right? You were given this choice of 3 options.
I did actually, no, but that's the thing, because when I was living in Holland and even Nigeria, I was just playing football. Football was my main sport, and I enjoyed that a lot. And then when I moved to the UK, at one point I had to decide like, am I gonna play football or am I gonna play rugby? And I enjoyed football. I played football like all my life. Like when I was.
You still do.
I still do. We still play football
yeah.
sometimes, but I had to decide then. Like, am I gonna focus more on rugby or football? And I decided rugby in the end because I guess at the time my body was made for it. Because I was like 2012. So I was 12. I was still pretty much the same height. Not really. I'm a bit taller now.
Ah, okay.
But I was tall. I was like quite big as well, but not really. But for a 12-year-old, yeah. So then I was like, yeah, I'm just running through everyone. It was nice, you know. But then like as the years progressed towards like the end of the UK, you know, all the guys on my team caught up to me, and I had to change my tactic because like before I could just run into them, you know, and just use my sheer power to just get rid of them. But now it's more like I got to step and try to be agile and dodge the people because everyone's bigger than me now.
Yeah,
Taller than me. Like there's a lot of people taller than me.
Fair
you know?
enough, fair
and
enough.
especially here in Holland, like because we're club. Because in the UK you have age categories. You got under 18, under 7, under 16. Here in Holland, what you've got is I don't know. They're called like Colts, Benjamins. They have names for it. But pretty much it's like different years in the same category. But once you're 18 plus, it's everyone. Everyone who's 18 plus, they play together. So I'm gonna be playing against like 36 buff men, you know, and they're just gonna be running at me. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, you know, like.
That is kind of messed, especially.
Then again, it also makes you stronger and better, you know, because I'm gonna be tackling like huge guys, but I'm gonna have to get used to that again because I haven't played rugby in like a bit, you know, because of the whole corona. And
with the corona,
the whole
especially
circumstances,
with the COVID.
you know. But
I mean,
I'm excited to get back to it.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm just gonna have to get into tackling again and not be scared. Like imagine though, running like a big ass guy running at you full pace.
That's not something I'm really used to because I'm one of those.
But you know, it's a mindset as well. You just gotta do it. You have to do it.
Gotta go.
You just have to do it. You know, you just gotta.
But it still messes me up, man. I saw so many videos of people just ramming. You know, it's like you're running at full speed. Like I don't know, the human speed is quite a lot, especially with a great mass being launched at a specific velocity at someone else, and then you smash your shoulder into their head, and they just go flying.
But that's pretty much what happens. But you got so much adrenaline in you. You just
exactly
you don't feel it. You just go.
But like for a sport like skating, look, it's like I think they're almost opposites.
Skating is also quite scary though.
It's scary,
is
but
very
like,
scary actually.
It's not, a man is not running at me. No. I'm running at the concrete.
Like
if I slam on the concrete, the concrete's been there the whole time.
That's
it ain't
true.
moved.
That's
it's
true.
not sidestepping me and then hitting me from the side and I'm dead.
I mean, I tried skate. I mean, yeah, because you skate as well. So I've tried to skate every now and then, but like in the what's it called?
The pool.
The pool, like going into the pool.
That's scary.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. I don't know how you do that. But how do you first start? Like that's like
just gotta go for it.
You just gotta go for it. That's the thing. I guess that's what makes these two sports similar. But you just gotta go for it.
Everything else. I mean, rugby's a team sport. Skating is almost individual. You can make a case that, of course, the friends help you out and everything. But at the end of the day, it's an individual sport. One of them is essentially contact focused. The other one is technique focused. You know, it's rather not in the sense that rugby doesn't have technique, but in the sense that skating is like you just gotta do it to perfection, and then once you're there, you can do the trick anytime.
That's true.
And I think with rugby, it's like you gotta be intelligent enough to know what to do at what case whilst you're remaining in the game.
Because it's all like split decision making. It's all about decision making rugby because, I mean, there's a lot of aspects to it as well. Even like when you're attacking, when you're defending, like certain decisions you make could cost you the game. That's with anything, to be honest. But you know, like.
But I think that's legit in the sense that like it's more strategic.
Yeah, well, rugby is very strategic. There's always set moves because, for example, I'm like at the backs. I'm a back player, so there's forwards and there's backs.
The forwards are usually notoriously called fairies.
The fairies, actually, though, in my old rugby team. Yeah, but pretty much what they do is they fight for the ball, and then pretty much, well, everyone tries to score, but then what the back's aim is, so they get the balls from the forwards, and then they have like set plays. We have set plays that we can think of, like, because there's the 10, 12, 13, 14, 15,
nice,
and 11. So 6. There's 6 players. So with those 6 players, you know, you can make all sorts of moves. Like people can be running zigzag and we pass the ball, but we have to memorize that. So we strategically like have different moves in order for like in different situations where we try and penetrate their defense by using all these weird ass things, you know, to confuse them.
I mean, but do you change your tactics across the game?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. A team would usually, like in the past teams that I've been in, we usually have like 5, 6 different moves we know. Some more complicated than others. Like some of them could be like as simple as a switch, you know, like I'm running here,
or
you
a
know,
dummy.
we just do, or a switch dummy, you know. You could do whatever. You could be creative. It depends on what the situation is ahead of you. That's why the decision making is very important. So like you can do a dummy and then like be through the line and run, you know, or
you can fuck it up and ruin
it all
the entire action.
It all depends.
That's true as well. But like, I mean, rugby is notorious for being one of those sports that people portray as violent, you know, like a violent sport.
It's violent, but it's also a gentleman sport. Like, for example, we don't talk back to the ref. It's a yellow card, it's a yellow card. If it's a red card, it's a red card. But as well, like maybe during the match, everyone's, we're gonna get agitated at each other.
Oh, no.
It's two teams like going at it at each other, So there's obviously gonna be some tension.
Well,
and maybe even a
gorilla-sized
fight.
men.
Yeah,
They're literally gorillas running at each
That's
other,
what I'm
trying
saying.
to get a ball across.
But afterwards, at the match, there'll always be sportsmanship. You always say, shake the hands. It's always like, usually at the end of the match, all the conflict is like resolved. That's what it usually had to like go to.
And that's what football should be like, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not really how it is.
That's true. Like you have to look up, and also football people
They fake everything.
Sorry,
That's true.
dude,
That's
man.
true.
And
But
you
like,
look at
I
rugby
mean,
matches and they're getting smashed. And
they're
like,
getting smashed.
just get 'em back
Literally,
up.
I bet if you just search up on YouTube like top 10 worst injuries on rugby, I think you're gonna see some shit that's gonna scar you.
There's some bad ones out there.
So
I
do
know
it at
that.
your own discretion. All right.
Exactly.
But yeah, notoriously rugby is portrayed as this violent sport.
Yeah.
But you're right, it is a gentleman's sport in the sense that in Italy, I remember when I was 15, there used to be this advert that actually captured a real life event, which was between the Italian rugby team and the French rugby team.
Okay.
And
fair.
after the match, which Italy lost clearly.
Obviously. No, I'm joking. Italy's not that bad.
I mean, they're still top. No, okay, I'm not even gonna lie. But look, there's this photo of them having dinner all together afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was like homies having normal dinners
That's the
together.
thing,
And
yeah,
that's
like we always have we also a lot usually we take when when like my school we travel for rugby matches. Towards the end we'd always like have dinners with the team together, we take pictures together, and usually with like the international community where we played for like at a school, we'd usually be like housing people. So if we go to Frankfurt, for example, I'd be like with a family who are housing me. So, you kind of make friends as well. And then all of a sudden the next day you're on the pitch against each other.
But is it weird?
It's not weird. It's always just like, but it's always kind of competition, because we're the opposite teams, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's nice because they do take care of us. They give us food. They give us this.
But have you had like an awkward scene where like you beat the team of your host, and then you sit there at dinner and they're like, "How was the game?"
That's the thing, though. It's never that deep, especially with it was never that deep. Maybe if it's an important match or something, or if it was like our rivals, because usually, for example, for Frankfurt, we were not Frankfurt, for ISB in Brussels, they were hosting us as well, but the school itself, their rugby team was not that good. It was whack. So like automatically we weren't even there. Right, it was just fun playing with them. It wasn't like any tension because we knew that. But then, for example, if we were sleeping with like Zurich, for example, they were pretty good. They had a good rugby team.
For those who don't know, in the international setting, Zurich is
Zurich had a good rugby team. So maybe if they were hosting us one point, like I know we didn't like that team and they didn't like us. So maybe if they host us one day, then there might be some awkward tension between us. But
I mean, damn.
Damn.
It's weird because in a sport where so much contact is taking place, right? Where you're literally, you don't care. As you said, you go into it, you're like...
go for it. It's a mindset. That's the thing. Once you get past that, then rugby is fun and easy.
But like, it must hurt, man.
That's, okay, personally, I don't know how. I've never been properly injured. I've never broken a bone, dislocated my collarbone or any of this. But I had like certain people on my team who just dislocated their collarbone like standard, It was like they dislocated their collarbone, like, oh fuck, like they just, but not that, they didn't
but like...
I seen a video of that though, a rugby guy dislocated his shoulder and he just like, it was on his knee and it was like, and it just clicked back in and he just ran on. But it's like, but that's the thing, like during the rugby game, it's pretty.
I was visual, but you're making my cameraman pass out, man. Don't do me like that.
No, but that's the thing,
Okay.
During the rugby game, nothing hurts, except if you break bones, blah, blah, blah. But it's after the rugby game. When you wake up the next morning.
Bruises everywhere.
That's when you feel everything. Because during rugby games, you get studded on. That's just normal, Studs on your body everywhere, that's normal. And it doesn't hurt because you're so much adrenaline. You're just going. It's like... And dead legs, the next morning, dead legs are the worst. You're like, oh my God.
A dude running at you and hitting you with his shoulder on your
like the next
femur.
morning is the worst, but sometimes it kind of feels nice, because you're like,
you're kind of like, I mean, if you pass them,
yeah.
I can see that. But like at the same time, man, it kind of still baffles me. Like, it's like, for instance, I know for a fact that someone that we both know who played rugby for a long time broke his femur. in a game.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, when I heard about it, it shook me in the sense that it would take a lot of effort for me to break my femur in a skate event.
Well, but that would it though? You could just
My
fall on the
femur?
concrete hard one
My
time.
femur. That's what I'm saying. It's my femur. It's the strongest bone in my
thick,
body.
like, yeah,
If I
that's
fuck up
true.
how, it's like, with what amount of sheer force
That's what I'm saying. It's two guys just going at each other.
or more.
Or more, yeah. It's just, and you're getting trampled on afterwards with like 7 people on top of you,
But I want to get back on one thing that everyone overlooks, me included. And I stopped overlooking that the moment you showed me your cleats.
My cleats. Oh, yeah.
Your cleats, man.
Yeah.
Metal studs.
Yeah,
And
they're
when I say
metal
metal studs, you throw them against the wall, it's gonna make trust me. It's that hard.
It's better for grip because because for example, the forwards, they have the big metal studs for some reason. Even though they all like step on each other and everything, the forwards have the biggest metal studs because they're the ones that have to like
they have
go
to
in the
hold
scrum. They have to push, so they need that grip. So that's why the forwards all have big metal studs, and the backs. I mean, you saw mine, but those are small. Those are the small ones.
Those are small.
Yeah, those are small. Like there's bigger ones. The forwards, they have the bigger ones, so they have more grip. But yeah. That's pretty much how it is. Metal studs, they're painful as well. You get stepped on all the time.
But that's exactly my point. Is like these metal studs are like this big for people. Like in comparison to my nose, which is pretty
they
big.
were pretty big, but like
Exactly, they're pretty big, and that's the thing. It's like these things happen all the time. If you watch a rugby match, you see the guy's hand just under the thing. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go on. And I'm like, no. Someone steps on my hand, normal shoes. I'm gonna feel it. Studs this big.
yeah,
How do you overlook
true.
that? That's deadly.
But sometimes I don't even allow like the plastic studs or like the plastic and metal studs because
Just
like,
metal.
No, like the plastic and like just metal's allowed. Those are like pretty much rugby
my
boots.
God.
But like the plastic and metal, because usually before the game you'll have to go on your knees and the ref, they're gonna check all your studs if they're all safe. And usually the metal ones are fine, but the plastic ones could be sharp. They could be like, because maybe you've used them a lot,
Yeah.
and they're a bit like maybe some sharp edges, and then that just could cut someone while playing. Yeah, it was pretty.
Dude, I can't imagine just having my hand
That's what I'm
pierced
saying, but
by
that's
a
why
such-
every game they check. They check if all the studs are good and like if you're allowed to play. But
God
usually
damn.
they don't really care. Not gonna lie, they just kind of just go like this and they're like, "I fuck it, let's go."
Holy sh! Okay, that is a lot to take
Yeah.
in. For my own stomach, let me.
Yeah, right. the whole-
Okay. So to move on from a disgusting topic to another, I want to know: have you ever seen anyone get majorly injured in real life, like in a rugby
In a-
game?
I mean-
Sorry, I love my cameraman. I don't want him to
From
pass.
the topic. Have you ever? That's the thing. Yes, I mean, dislocating your collarbone was normal. That's the thing. That was like not even disgusting because first of all, that's just like like and you don't see
My
it.
arm is off my body.
Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, yeah.
Technically.
Pretty much, actually. Nah, but like, I've seen a few injuries, but there's one which I personally did when I tackled a guy and I broke like his leg. And that's the thing. There was a video of this. And all I remember from the video is you can hear like, you can see me run in, do the tackle. You can hear it like, but afterwards, what you hear is just constant screaming, like, like constantly like that. And it was really bad. And after that, the match had to stop and everything. And I actually visited him in hospital. His name was, I forgot what his name was, but yeah, it was really a thing.
What did you say? You just looked at her
That's
like,
the
yo,
thing,
rip, man.
it is a rugby game. It was a legal tackle. His foot was just in
Weird.
an awkward position.
So
where
like it
just-
got held and then it snapped.
It
Okay.
just snapped.
I mean,
It was just-
accidents do happen. I just hope that's not
but
the
that's
accident.
The thing. The
that
scream I
comes
still remember. It was so loud and over and over. But this guy just broke like the thick bone. And like, it was just not a thing.
Oh, dude, I don't think we've hosted a podcast where I've had such graphic display of damage. Like, okay.
That's the thing. That was my only like major thing that I've done like in rugby, and well, I've never like done.
You've never snapped
No,
anyone's
I've never
neck.
snapped
Okay, that's pretty
anyone's-
good to know. That's pretty good to know. Well, damn though, like that's okay. But like the match had to stop,
Yeah,
right?
the match has to. Yeah, because I mean, bro,
There's a kid dying on the ground.
you
Yeah.
know, like
But like, did you? Okay, well, it must have felt bad, right?
that's the thing. I did feel bad. Okay, obviously I did feel bad. I broke.
Of
his
course,
fucking leg.
yeah, of course.
But you know,
of
at
course.
the end of the day, everyone also understood it is a rugby game. It's a rugby game, and that's the thing. It doesn't happen. It
But
was
it-
just like
it
sad
can
time. I
happen.
did feel bad. Obviously, I felt bad. I went to go visit him in hospital and everything. But like,
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And I'm
I
sorry.
mean, in a
I'm
boxing,
sorry if you're looking at me. Like,
he's sorry,
I'm
all right?
sorry.
And then he's just there without a leg.
No,
My God.
he's fine now. He's
Oh no.
He's better now. He's fine. This was
Okay.
a long time ago as well.
But
All
like-
ones in the UK.
Damn. But I mean, in boxing, for example, you literally knock someone
Yeah,
out.
look at those people after. They're guaranteed. Fuck. Well, okay.
No,
depends how-
guaranteed.
But you
There
know,
is a
like, There's
guarantee
gonna be
almost.
like punches in the face, gut cuts everywhere. Like, you know.
I mean, fuck. Like, that's the thing. It's different in rugby than it is in boxing, because in boxing, as we just said, you're kind of in the mentality that you're gonna get knocked,
True.
right? And in rugby, you know you're gonna get hit. You know you're
Yes,
gonna
yeah.
hit,
Oh,
but you
yeah.
also think you can outsmart
That's
everyone.
true.
In boxing, doesn't matter how good you are, you're
You're
still gonna get punched
yeah,
in the
you know
nose.
you're gonna get punched.
Especially if you have a nose like this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
that-
turn into
this-
a nose
this-
like this. Like, you know.
Ah.
it would be,
Okay, well, I successfully removed the thought of a kid's leg snapping.
Yeah, that's gone.
But I
Yeah,
do
that's-
want to ask a different aspect of weird things happening on the rugby field. Like, have you ever had like members of the crowd be unsportly? Is that a word? Like,
Just not have any
yeah,
sportsmanship.
sportsmanship.
That's the thing. I don't actually know. Usually because I've been playing school rugby and like under 18s and now also
I mean, their parents. Yeah,
their parents.
okay.
You know, like it'll be a bit nauseous if their parents are what the you know.
But there are parents like that.
that's
what I'm
true.
asking.
Yeah, but you know, all boys Christian boarding school.
That's also true.
They're not gonna
The
find
Christian
the
boarding school.
Christian,
Yeah, okay.
like-
If someone starts swearing, like, then you already know.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean. They're all kind of sophisticated, I guess.
Mm.
But then, I mean, sometimes.
What about the mother of the kid you snapped the leg of? Did she say anything?
She wasn't there. It was actually a home match at our turf. It was like usually what happens, yeah. So their school came to us, and it happened where we were, and yeah, just none of his family was there, I guess.
He was just
No one
alone,
watched him. It was
stranded
just
without
like-
a leg.
It was just his team. I guess,
Oh,
yeah. He just got
damn.
brought to hospital.
Yeah, if you guys
But he's
hear
good.
like a dead sound in the back, like, it's because my cameraman is passing out. Yeah, because he doesn't like gruesome shit. Yeah. Or, yeah, you know, I just don't want him to die in my recording. Nonetheless, I'm asking that because it's like, it does tend to happen. You have like in normal football, right?
Yeah.
You have crowds screaming and people just going like, oh, go on, Jimmy, score it, and all that. God damn! Hey, yo, Puro, please
You have
behave.
to edit that out.
No, this is a stream. We don't edit nothing.
true.
This is uncut.
I'm sorry.
So, does the crowd play a role when you're playing? Like, do you look at the crowd and do you feel like, whoa?
It's nice. It's always nice to have a crowd around, especially when you do something nice and they're like, oh.
When you do the sidestep and you hear the
exactly. When you do a nice
chanting.
sidestep and they see that, oh, it's nice. Sometimes it's not nice though. Whoa, triggered a memory.
Ah.
So when I first moved here in 2016, I joined the club, Harsey. It's in The Hague. And pretty much what they do there's actually a rugby tradition everywhere. So actually when I joined a rugby club, I might have to do it again. But it's called the Zumba. So here in Holland, I don't know, maybe it's everywhere, but they have this tradition in rugby that when you join the club, when you score your first try for the club, what you do after the game, you strip fully naked, you run 2 laps around the rugby field, and then you end up there's like a tunnel, so all your team have like gathered around, like facing each other, you know, and you run naked through the tunnel, and they all smack you as hard as they can, and you just run straight to the changing room. But you know what was like even worse for me? First of all, when they first said this, you know, I was just new at the club, and they told me I literally have to strip down naked, and you know, they're
So
fucking
you were like,
with me,
oh,
you know, they're
damn.
fucking. It's
Yeah.
a joke. I scored a try during the tournament, during the match. So obviously they said, yeah, you have to do it. Luckily, there was another guy who was new who had to do it with me. But pretty much, it was during the Haagse Rugby dagen, which are like the tournaments at my
The
club.
rugby days.
So like the first, and this is pretty much, I just moved to Holland. So my whole family decided to come and watch me. Because finally, like, I'm in Holland, they're gonna see me play rugby for the first time, like after I'm from the UK.
No.
So like, bro, both my grandparents, my
No.
uncles, my aunties, and my grandparents, one of them were Christian as fuck, you know, they went on a pilgrimage and everything. And here I was, running fully naked, like around, yeah, it was It was not a thing, man. And like my sister, everyone saw me naked. I still have a picture of it, to be honest. Should I see if I can pull it up? Should I see if I can pull up the picture?
Wait, hold the phone.
It was really
Hold
bad.
the phone. Wait, so this is not after the game is done and everybody's home. This is when you score the try.
No. Well, after the match, so when everyone's clapping, you have to then... Yeah, so when everyone's done paying attention to like the rugby match, they all look at you. Like, I'm going to find this...
So they couldn't wait. They couldn't be like, hey, look,
No,
man,
no.
the fans, let them go out. You know, we do our thing. We don't want to embarrass our below 18 rugby player. But yeah, let's have him stripped down.
It was so bad.
And damn. No, when you said grandparents and you were
try.
Christian and went on a fucking pilgrimage, that one took it for me, man.
It was done. Like, my family had never seen me naked, let alone my grandparents. And then my grandparents just...
Wait, you have a tattoo on your ass. For the viewers, I know this.
How do
Don't
you know
ask
that?
why.
How do you know that?
Dude, I don't want to know why either.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do I want to find this picture or should I put it away?
I mean, if you think you can find
Give me
it.
5 seconds.
I just want to know, like, were you scared? Like, that you're... What did you say? What did you say afterwards? I have so many questions. This is obscene. To your grandparents, hey, good game, thank you. That's it?
I had to run back. That's the thing. After I went through that tunnel, I just ran back. I went into the change room. Me and the guy were like, fuck, man, that just happened. We literally just stripped down naked, ran 2 laps around, and then just had to... And, you know, every time, like, the thing, I remember, while I was running, you know, I was running like this, obviously. And so was my
why
guy.
would you
Yeah.
run with your
know,
dick
yeah.
out? I don't know. Yeah.
They were all like, hey, do it for your home. I'm like, but not my family.
Well, I mean, if your grandpa was like that, I would resign right now. I would sign in.
That would be
I'm
a
out.
bit like, no, but wait, I'm gonna ready.
That is.
Only taking,
I mean, damn. I'm just like I'm.
you're
I'm
baffled.
I'm
Yeah, that's
more.
why.
I'm
I don't know.
flabbergasted. That's
I
the
hope
word.
I don't have to do it when I join the rugby club now because I'm actually I forgot about the tradition and I do think they do it at every rugby
Okay.
club.
Well,
but,
for anyone watching at
you
home,
know, I will find it
just
later.
don't play rugby.
Don't play rugby.
Don't.
Don't play
You don't want your arm or leg or shoulder fucking whatever
Yeah.
broken. You don't want that happening. You don't want to run naked whilst you're.
But that's the thing. Rugby's a good sport, though. It's nice. You get to
Exactly.
you get to run, you get to sprint, you get to tackle, you get to do whatever you want. Okay, no, there's rules, obviously, but like you just get to be as energetic as you want. You can.
That's true. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's so. I mean, it's counterintuitive. A gentleman's sport where
Yeah,
everyone follows the
fair.
rules. Also, a gentleman's sport where people run naked to the changing room after they score their
But
first
it's a
try.
tradition, you know. We've kept it up because we're gentlemen. We want to respect our rugby ancestors.
Because you want to be humble.
We want to be humble. It's a dumb tradition. I honestly, when I first came here, I thought they were. I wish they were fucking with me.
But so
they
in
weren't.
England, you didn't have to do it.
No, only here.
But
Like,
England is more of a rugby
that's what
country
I'm
than the
saying.
Netherlands.
But here, you know, club rugby, maybe they're like, oh, coach, you're like Zumba. It was called the Zumba. Yeah, the Zumba.
You know what Zumba is in Italy?
Well, here it's like some type of gymnast. No,
Yeah,
like
that's
gym
what it is.
class, you know,
yeah,
dancing.
it's
all
Zumba.
that.
My
Yeah.
aunt does it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she comes back looking, you know, she just does. It's like
It's a
weird
polysemi.
body attack thing. It's called body attack or some shit. You do like
Yeah.
wah, and you just lose your shit at someone for no reason. But it's like I'm still not over it. I'm not over it.
but
I'm not gonna
see-
lie. I know my cameraman's not over. I'm not over it. The
I hope I
producer's
don't have
not
to.
over
I
it.
really like. You're gonna find out on Tuesday.
But I'm gonna exactly. So Tuesday, everybody who's watching
Actually, no,
this.
that's my first training. My match is like.
Yeah, well, let us know. We'll put it in the
I'll let
podcast
you know if I have to
100%.
run
We
naked
can
or
gather a crowd, and then we can all film it together, and we
That's
can
just-
all scream
Corona time.
Corona
Oh,
times.
that's
but
true.
Distanced.
Social
right?
distancing.
So you have to distance your hand. No.
Yeah, I have to go like. I mean, that's
Ah,
about the space
shit.
I need anyway.
We have it here, ladies and gentlemen. The first dick joke.
Done.
The first dick joke of the damn slap. Right here, right now, live
I
on
wasn't even
TV.
making a dick joke.
Sloppy and great.
So this,
Well, this took a turn, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was gonna be sitting here explaining to you, like, you know, the real truth about a discipline that has been molded by time and experience.
I'm still a gentleman who plays rugby.
Mm-hmm. But now we know. Now we know you broke someone's arm, leg.
Yeah.
Let's give respect where due.
Yeah, thank you. It was a leg.
So you broke his leg, and it was a fair tackle. Everybody.
It was a fair tackle. His leg was just
fucked
not in a
afterwards.
good position when I was doing the fair tackle.
And after that, you. May I?
Has it been 30 minutes?
Yeah, it does. But like, that's the thing. It's like once that's done, I mean, you said you never had any broken bones or
No.
anything like that. No injuries.
Just my
no
fingers are a bit in weird
Yeah, but did you
places.
exactly what I was gonna get at? Did you ever bend your fingers all the way
time.
back?
Yes, that I have had. And like, dude, I mean, like, there's like this weird bone sticking here as well, out, which is not here, but it's here. Like, it's weird, you know?
Oh wait, put your hands a little bit up.
My fingers are just a bit.
Yeah.
I was about to say the word.
Yeah.
I don't know. That,
A
you
bit-
know, it
a
just
bit
sticks out,
kind of
and
like-
It's just not a thing, but it's just permanently been like that, and it kind of just feels.
But
it
is it
feels
because
good
of the
now, you know?
studs or because your fingers get pulled
Dude,
back?
that's, you know, it's really bad. If you get tackled, you know, and your hand is under, and you go you go on your body, and all your fingers are, you know, that's the thing. It's rugby though. It happens. I told you, like, all these things happen, but it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, please. Yeah. He's gonna go get food because he's not. Yeah. Damn. Okay, so essentially, what are the greatest strengths of rugby? What is something that rugby taught you that no other sport, in your opinion, or at least no other sports, but that no other sports has taught you?
That's the thing. Rugby is also very much a team sport, and other than team sport on the pitch, what rugby does as well, it focuses on the team morale off the pitch. But that's what I've not like. Maybe it's also with football, but like in rugby, there will always be like dinners. There will, after training, there will be like food. There will be this. There's always social events. All the rugby players drink beer together. It's just like almost a family. Like the bond between between a rugby team, it's always very strong. And usually it's also, for example, here rugby is kind of a foreign thing, but it's not like, you know.
Yeah.
So
yes
it's always
and no,
like,
yeah.
but the community is always kind of, there's always some international people as well. So, for example, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna play rugby, I'm from like Australia, and there's all Dutch people. No, there's always gonna be like nice international people. I'm not asking your question. What has it taught me? I mean,
Yes.
other than playing the sport, also a lot with like communication, like that. It's also important to connect with your team outside, so you play better as a team on the pitch. I guess that's why rugby coaches they know about that. They say they really like put a lot of effort in trying to make the team socialize, make the team work together, and not just rugby trainings, but other kind of things as well. Even going out for dinner, like us talking and.
I was gonna say, like, my current roommate, his brother has always played rugby, and like currently he lives with his rugby house. It's not a real thing. Like, it's not a rugby association. It's just all the boys were like, yo, we gotta move closer to the pitch.
They would drink a lot of beer in that house.
A lot, man. You have no idea. To walk in, there was like a wall of crates.
How many is it? How many people live there?
Around 11?
It's done.
It's done, bro. It's done. I walked in there, the stench of like Astro and like the AstroTurf, the fucking smell of condensed sweat. The axe
Wet,
everywhere.
like rugby clothes still chilling in the corner after a rainy day.
It was nasty, man.
What
But what I
happens.
was getting at is that you're right. Like, they literally are like brothers in the sense that the way they behave around each other is like they have no shame.
That's the thing. They have no shame.
Oh,
They
is there a
have no
backstory
shame.
to this one?
You know, rugby players, especially here in Holland, communal showers are just a thing. Like, you just... Okay, like, I played in, like, a few clubs here in Holland, and every single time when we're done with rugby, we're in the changing rooms, you know, we're getting undressed, we just had a good game, we want to shower, get fresh. I mean, everyone just goes fully naked, and everyone's just got their penis out. It's not a weird
Like
thing.
that.
It's just not weird, though. That's the thing. It's just not weird.
But was it weird for you when you first joined? Like, these people just going at it?
Because that's in the UK, we also have communal showers, but we still kind of make the effort of trying to cover. You know, we have a towel. We maybe just wear our pants and then we go take a shower, take them off there.
Here they're like.
But here in Holland, it was just like everything loose and people just like just walking, and then you got some small boys with like. And you're like, whoa, how does that? But you're like, what? Like, how does that work? Like, you never expect that. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, what? You know, like... But you know what I mean? Like, there's just, everyone just does it and, like, no one gives a fuck.
Hey, I mean, look. No, you know, this was a compliment, an indirect compliment to short people.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give respect to that. I mean, I am taller than you by like a bit, but like, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, Like your experience with rugby, if you had to rate it, would you exchange it for any other sport?
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
So you would never play football otherwise?
I can do both.
No, but would you?
Honestly, what, rugby over football? Yes.
But would you do football over rugby?
No, because rugby over football.
Hey, you never know.
No.
What if you do one or the other?
I would, if I could still choose something, if I were to only like be able to do one sport, rugby for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know how different, because I never played in a football like team or something like that,
No?
where like
Yeah.
players are just, you know, like in a team sport like that. Because I played basketball.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a team sport. It is, and you kind of get to know your friends
Yeah.
eventually, because they eventually become your friends.
I
But
get that.
at one point, it's like you realize that it is still you. Like it's really up to you. It's up to your own improvement. And that's my follow-up question is, how can you train on an individual level for rugby?
First of all, cardio, fitness. In order to play rugby, you need to be fit. So what you could do, well, what a lot of rugby boys do is they just go running, they do all their cardio exercises. Pretty much all rugby boys go to the gym as well.
I was about to say that's what I would
for
assume
some,
they
they're all
do.
buff. Like all rugby guys are just big, and it's like, you know, like you're just.
But you
running.
have to be, as you said before, you're playing
You
against
don't
these
have to
dudes
be,
who are
though,
2
you know,
meters
like-
tall.
You can. Rugby doesn't
You can
need
be
a body
fast.
size. You can be whatever. You can be small, and you can be good. It's just an advantage. You know, sometimes it's
Tactical
just like
advantage.
tactical advantage to be bigger, but sometimes it's also good to be small because you can be small, agile, and like dip all places.
That's true. But what? Okay, so if you had to pick the perfect body type for a rugby player, would he be big?
I would no, not super massive. But then again, remember Jonah Lomu?
That's true.
He was just
Anyone who
insane,
wants
yeah.
to look at rugby the way it's done, search
No,
up Jonah
Not
Lumo.
even the way it's done. This guy was just a
God.
yeah,
A
he was just
god.
like.
I hope we get to put in the clips. I don't know if
This
it's
guy was
too
literally
long.
what? He was like 6 foot something, weighed like what? 190 kilos. No, not even.
No. Yeah, he was heavy.
Was it?
He
No, it
was
wasn't that.
heavy,
No,
bro.
120 kilo. He was heavy.
He was heavy.
And he was 6 foot something, and he ran the 100 meters in like 10 point something seconds. So he was just big, fast. No one could stop him.
What was his name again, so that they can?
Jonah Lomu. Everyone
Jonah
should know. All the
Lomu.
rugby people would know it.
But I'm telling you, as a non-rugby guy, I was watching his like content, you know, just his greatest plays,
Yeah.
and I was looking at that, and even I could
Just- you
acknowledge
don't
that those
stop
were
that.
outstanding.
You don't stop that. You know,
Like at some points, I realized like I was watching it and I was like, yeah, but this doesn't seem that hard. And then I pictured that was the top level rugby,
this
national
was the
level.
National top. This guy was.
There's
just,
no one better. There's
No,
no one
there was
better.
no
And
one
that's the
better.
thing. It's like when you realize that and you see how this guy is manhandling these people, because he is.
So you know what? If you want the ideal body for rugby,
Do that.
6 foot, 120 kilos, be able to run the 100 meters in 10 seconds.
But
Then done.
so which one would you put for first on the scale of like things? Should I turn this on, by the way, just in case? Real? Is it filming?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is.
Sure.
Is it filming?
Hey, I'm not a cameraman.
Is there a time countdown?
No.
Okay, we'll fast.
No. I'm gonna film it. Let's go. No, it has 0.
Okay, so now you just turn it on.
Nice.
No, you just turned it off. So it was filming.
Well, nice. My cameraman in action, everybody. Save me, please.
Yeah, it's recording.
Nice.
Oh no! So
Let's
it wasn't
go.
recording.
I'm the host of the most, ladies and gentlemen. What could I do?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But that's the thing. So, to wrap it up,
Yeah.
what would be your advice for anyone who really wants to follow or pursue the same sort of path that you chose? So, a path where you can experience rugby in several different countries whilst also experiencing rugby for what it is.
I mean, that's the thing. I really didn't choose my path. It was kind of given to me. The fact that I was able to move because of my dad's work, that like gave me different perspectives of rugby. So like Nigeria, UK, and then now here in Holland as well. So it was nice to see everything. But wait, what was your question again?
No, as in what is your best piece of advice
Oh,
for someone who is trying
Who
to
wants to
become
play
that?
rugby and try to like, well,
Who wants to
honestly,
become good at it, not just
become
play.
good at it. It's all about the mindset. Like if you're able to tell yourself, like if there's a big man running at you, and if you can just go through with the tackle, you just go, because as soon as you tackle, and if you don't fully commit to it, you're gonna get trampled on. Especially with a big guy, if you don't fully commit to the tackle, he's gonna beat you. If you just go down, you go low, and you're like, alright, big guy running at me. You know what I want to do? instead of getting trampled over, I actually just want to fuck this guy. So everyone's gonna be like, yeah, you know. And that's the kind of thing you just kind of build up in your own head, and you just go for it, bro, no matter what. And it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts,
and it's
right?
also scary. Honestly, it took me a while as well for like, and maybe now it's even gone. So like, because when I was playing rugby a lot, bro, you just go for every tackle. And now obviously I've had a bit of a break, so I don't know. It might be, you know, when a big guy's running at me, I might be like, shit, you know, like, gotta get in the zone again, gotta do it.
But I did overlook one thing that happens to a lot of rugby players in regards to their ears. I've heard a lot of things.
Ears.
Yeah, cauliflower ears.
They're
for those at home who
ugly
don't
ears.
know.
You do not want cauliflower.
They are
ears.
essentially when the top bit of your ear gets ripped off,
yeah,
right?
Just, no, not ripped, because there's so much friction against your ears all the time when you're like, the forwards especially. That's why all the forwards usually have cauliflower
No ears, actually. It doesn't look like they have any
because
ears
when you're
at
like
all.
going against each other, the friction rubs against your ears constantly. At one point, these motherfuckers just do something.
Oh,
and then that's why usually they wear a scrum cap or they have tape around their head to keep those ears from going fucking cauliflower, because you don't want that.
Jesus
'Cause
Christ.
I don't know, once they go cauliflower, can you
bring them
I don't
back?
know.
Probably plastic surgery or something. We
I
can
don't know.
definitely
A lot of
spice
men
things
still
up.
walk around with those ears,
But I mean, if you're a devoted rugby player,
Yeah.
that's a flex.
I mean, it just looks.
Yeah,
off.
it looks
It
kinda
just,
shite,
it
doesn't
just
it?
doesn't look
It
right.
does kind of look.
You know, you
but
can-
like, there are a lot of physical downsides to me from an external point of view. It's like you gotta be big, you gotta be buff, you gotta be
don't
fast.
have to be though. You don't have
gotta
to be any of those things.
You gotta break some kids' legs.
You don't have
you
to-
gotta
Yeah, that's
fucking
fair, yeah.
be the number. And to be honest, like you have to be strong-minded
You have
to
to
do
be
any of that.
strong-minded, yeah.
But in general, it's like the entire nature of it. It's like in my opinion. Well, actually, I want to ask you: do you think someone like me, with my body type, someone light, someone who just runs,
Like I said, there's no body type for rugby. It's just an advantage. It's a tact. But look, there's so many rugby players who are skinny at professional level who are fucking good. There's this guy called Damien McKenzie who plays for the All Blacks. He's small and skinny, but he's just agile. He's fast. He's got the moves, and also it's not about individual play. It's about team play as well. So it's also about like how smart is this guy in the game. If he makes the right decisions, there could be a massive guy who's fucking like built for rugby, but he might not know how to play. He might just get the ball and just run himself all the time. Yeah, it could work every now and
but
then.
you're gonna get
But
stuck.
the smart player will use his whole team, you know. And if there's like you, not skinny guy, but you know, like whatever, you got the ball, you're playing. If you make the right decisions all the time and you
Then you're-
create the game for the people who are bigger than you and do those run, you know, then you're also just a valuable rugby player.
You're still playing
It's all
against
about-
gorillas, man. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
It's not like you're
That's
you're
true.
literally in a cage with
Yeah.
all these people who are equally, if not more, aggressive.
But look, while you play with these big ass people, you grow yourself as well. And you get stronger. You know,
That's
once
true.
you play rugby, you get fit. Like you get fit.
That's true, ladies and
Like,
gentlemen.
but
That's
then
true.
again, you could also choose like to play rugby at club level and then drink a fuck ton afterwards all the time.
That's
And then
also true.
You can stay like, you know,
At the
just
same
there, you're just
stagnant level of
you're just in
putrid
the middle.
obesity. Yeah, that
Exactly.
is one thing that has definitely an impact on rugby players. But I think also the nature or where it originated. Like rugby is one of those sports that has always been North English, I think. Or what, New Zealand?
I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, the Pacifics do it.
New
like,
Zealand,
the
South
UK
Africa.
do it. South Africa.
Because I thought it was an English sport in
Even
the sense
like
that...
Russia, you know, Namibia.
Do they? Is there a
Kenya.
Russian team?
Yeah, Kenya has a team. Namibia.
I mean, if Italy has a team, ladies and
Italy
gentlemen,
has a team.
anybody can have a team.
Holland have a team.
Really?
Every country has a team.
No, they do, but like
But
I
the
don't see them on
yeah,
national
that's-
TV.
The national ones are like the Pacific, UK, and like
Six
France.
Nations.
You know, yeah, some European, like France, Ireland, Italy, Spain are getting there. Argentina is quite good as well now, but that's also like South America.
But who are like the gods of rugby then?
Look, obviously everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
No, yeah, of course. Hey, this is a
But
podcast about you, not everybody.
Statistically, like, okay, I'm not.
Give me the
I
facts.
don't know the facts. I don't know the facts.
I'm
but
gonna
you know,
fact check it right now.
the mainstream, like if anyone, All Blacks, obviously, New Zealand, they have like their win percentage is high. They're one of the best. They are the best, kind of. And then you've got South Africa, and then you got England, Wales, you know, all those, France, even Ireland. Actually, Ireland are very good as well. I'm missing out on Ireland. I probably missed out on more, but
Well, but that's the thing. Yeah, it is actually All Black.
yeah.
But I mean,
All Blacks.
is that their style, their initiatory thing is like how they initiate every game, that they just kind of do that thing.
Oh, the haka.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a culture, but actually a few countries do it. But yeah, it's like, it's pretty much to scare off to intimidate the
It's a
opponent.
mental thing.
It is, but it is kind of intimidating. But
Fuck me, man. I look at that. I'm like,
Yeah,
no way, dude. I'm
exactly.
running the other way.
But then, the other team will be standing opposite them, like all next to each other, and then they're like, sometimes they walk up, and they're like, go, come. But they actually got fined for that one time. I forgot what team it was. Maybe France.
But because they walked up too
France,
close.
they walked up way too close, or up in their faces while they were doing the hack, and it was kind of just disrespectful. But not really. It's like, they're kind of just going, they're like, fuck you guys. You don't scare me.
No, but that's fair enough. I mean, look, in basketball, for example, LeBron James does this thing where, like, for the Lakers, that he does the powder thing, that
Yeah.
he throws powder in the air before every game. Also, Kevin Durant has his own thing, and all these players, they do their own initiation. So,
Yeah.
why could rugby not do that? I think rugby could.
Do their
I think
own,
it should.
Like their own initiation.
Yeah, like every team has their own way of portraying
Presenting
themselves.
themselves,
Because so
yeah.
far, only that I know of as an
No, there's
external
a
player.
lot of the Pacific Islands, like Samoa, not Fiji, because I know Samoa do a dance as well. I think it's called the fish or something. But
The
like,
fish. That's
the
a
thing.
lit
All
move.
these kind of Pacific Islands, or all the rugby teams that there's certain rugby teams which have another form of the haka, who also do a dance beforehand and kind of intimidate the other people. But then there's also, I don't know, in the European countries.
Europe, we don't do any
it.
of
You
that,
know,
ladies and gentlemen.
England don't do anything. Wales. I mean, I guess maybe it would have been cool if I went
It
to the
would
UK
have been
and I
cool.
actually had to learn how to
Yeah.
do like the haka. And,
Like, I'm thinking it would be cool if everybody has their own
Yeah.
thing, because it's like, then if you're good at the game, then that
Yeah.
thing is going to become mainstream, just like the haka?
the Haka building.
Haka?
The haka.
How's it called?
Haka. Haka.
Haka.
The haka.
Just 1K?
Yeah, Haka.
Wow, I'm so illiterate.
Yeah, you are.
Damn.
English B.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I feel like I've learned way too much about a kid
About
breaking his
rugby,
leg,
yeah.
your fingers snapping, several different negative experiences that come with the amazing experience that is rugby. We can all agree that rugby is an amazing
That's true.
experience for those who are willing and are courageous enough to do it. That's one thing that I will say.
Anyone can be. It's just it's in your mind. Switch the mindset.
Okay. I don't think me and my team are going to be anywhere close to a rugby field.
No? No?
Say that
Did
again.
I not change your mind?
No, not in this life.
Yep, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can make up your own mind if you like your arms and legs, if you like your fingers, if you like your ears, if you like your eyes, and if you like everything that you own, then I would consider the ups and downs of this discipline. Nonetheless,
This discipline.
this
You don't
absolute.
sound so illiterate anymore.
Not anymore. I gotta step up my game. I can't be losing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I mean, okay. Honestly speaking, I think it is a crazy good discipline. I think it is one that has several principles. It teaches a lot to the people that practice it, and it also gives you this full understanding of how a team should function. And even through weird shit like this, like the weird initiation where you run naked, it's like, yeah, but your team sees you at your most vulnerable,
Yeah.
at your most
They
vulnerable
smack you
stage.
as well while
They
you're at
smack
it.
your
Like,
ass
what?
whilst you're at it.
But hard,
I don't think you can go
know?
lower than that. Like your grandparents who went to a fucking pilgrimage were looking at you running naked across the field
But
after
imagine,
scoring
like,
a
running
try.
back in and you get that one hand that goes like doom, like while you're running full pace because you're naked. And
Yeah,
on the
you're
back,
booking
and
it.
on the back, like like
But I mean, it's an experience, and it's an experience
and it
you're
was
going to
fun.
bring to
and
the
I
grave.
remember, nice.
As long as your ears remain the same.
Don't
yeah.
go cauliflower.
God damn, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like this one was very entertaining for my
Yes.
for my own mental sanity, at least. Because I don't feel like I am that much of a fuck up. Because look, my legs work. My legs
mean, you
work.
skate.
My arms
You
work.
skate.
I've broken my arm skating. I don't think I went to the hospital and went, yeah, a guy just slammed me to the ground and broke my
but
leg.
it's pretty much the same thing. We're both risking our body for something that we love doing.
Yes,
A
yes.
sport.
And that is very
Rugby,
true.
skate.
Yes, a
know?
very, very nice.
And then
Both
you gotta,
very cool
And then
disciplines.
you gotta think whether it's worth it or not.
Is it worth it? Let's find out in the next episode of the Damn Slap, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host. Cedric van Leyenhorst has been
thank
your
you for
guest.
having me.
Thank you
It
guys
was a
for having
pleasure.
us. Look in that camera and say something you wanted to say to the people. Think about it. I'll give you a second. 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Join rugby.
If that didn't convince you, I don't know what will, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice week, ladies. See you.
Peace.
Alright. Okay, first of all, Clyde, this one is out. Oh, really?
Yeah.